What is up, guys? Welcome back to the video. This is going to be the cheapest BMX upgrades for $100 and under. We're going to be going over handlebars, frames, forks, cranks, pedals, sprockets, you name it. Everything that's on the bike right there for the cheapest way possible, or possibly getting the most for your $100. You could go past this $100 marker that we're setting right now, but this is geared more towards people that are trying to get the most for their money. This came recommended by one particular fan in several videos in a row. He just kept saying it. Hey man, you should do a video based on the cheapest upgrades for your BMX bike. So this is the video we're bringing to you guys. By the way, I tried filming this like 3 different times at 3 different skate parks, and now I'm out here and we're not going to be doing any tricks. It's just going to be very informative. Maybe some tricks by the end of this video actually. But first, let's get the information to you guys, starting with the forks. These are forks for $100 and under. So a handful of these parts you'll be able to bundle to be able to get 2 for the $100 or under segment. But first, we're going to start out with forks. It's really hard to find a set of forks that are under $100, but there are some that are actually in that realm that are good quality, such as this Mission fork that I'm showing on the screen right now, a RANT fork that I'm showing on the screen right now, and KINK actually has one on sale on Dan's Comp right here. This isn't sponsored by Dan's Comp or anything, but I'm getting a lot of my information and sales to be able to keep you guys in that budget from Dan's Comp, because it's pretty reputable, I guess you would say, for mail orders. So with that being said, I'm getting all my information from that website and using the price points from their website. Now, if you're willing to go a little bit higher than that $100 threshold for forks, you can actually get some really good Odyssey ones like they're up on the screen right now. And I actually run Snafu. These Snafu Magical forks, I've been running, I mean, I've had different sets over the years, but these particular ones I've had on my bike for about 2 years, and they've been put through a lot of abuse and a lot of different paint jobs as well, and they last great. Now, as we move on, we're going to move to cranks. Cranks are really hard to keep in that $100 threshold, but for under $100, you can actually get some stolen Talon V2 cranks. They're pretty decent, and they don't have a pinch bolt. A pinch bolt is actually, if you look at the crank arm, at the top of the crank arm where it's closest to the spindle, there's a pinch bolt that pinches it tighter to the spindle. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's personal preference. I just think personally it's cleaner when you don't use the pinch bolt. But as we stay out of the pinch bolt realm right now, if you get the RANT BANGIN, that is actually a pretty good crank as well. Now, moving on to the pinch bolt section, you actually have the Stolen, the RANT, and the Mission all on the screen right now, all fairly cheap. Cheap enough that you actually be able to still have some money left over to get some other parts that we're going to list here further into the video. But there's one crank that actually gives you the most bang for your buck, all right? It is the Sunday Sacker. It comes with the entire bottom bracket kit. It is a pinch bolt crank, and it looks like it's really good. I actually personally would run it on my bike. For this price range, you can't go wrong. Now we're into brakes. A lot of you guys don't run brakes, but maybe you're wanting to run brakes. You know, there's a lot of riders out there you look up to that run brakes, and maybe you just kind of want to mess with it. So I'm going to list off a handful of, the cheapest brakes that are out there, plus one personal one I've been using, not because it's cheap, just because it's so easy to take on and off of my bike and be able to repair. Starting with that one right now, actually, all these brakes are under $50. Starting with the one I currently run on my bike right now, under $50. The Odyssey Springfields, I believe they're like $20, maybe $22, depending on where you go. The Odyssey Evo 2s. Evo 2s actually are a dual spring, so that each arm has its own spring, versus the Springfield just has one spring going across controlling both arms. I just find it easier with the Springfield, plus you get more. You're getting a lever, you're getting a brake cable, you're getting a straddle cable for the back, everything, all in that whole kit. Now, speaking of a full kit, Mission has their own full kit as well. It is the Cease full kit, the Mission Cease full kit. It looks like it's pretty decent. Comes with a lot of stuff. The Cease brake kit is fairly similar to the Springfield. Maybe I'll have to give it a try, do a comparison between the Cease and the Springfield. Let me know if you guys want to see that in the comments below. But as we get further in the brakes, it's really hard to kind of determine what is the best. You're just trying to get something that's cheap, because at the end of the day, you also want to get clear brake pads. Clear brake pads are going to really help with the whole stopping. The ones that come with those 2 kits look like they're pretty good. Now, last but not least, the RANT Spring 2 is a very cheap, and it looks like a very decent brake to be able to run on your bike. These are all brakes that'll be really easy to put on your bike, take them off, depending if you want to be brakeless or have brakes, just depending on how you're feeling. Now, moving on to the handlebars. Now, handlebars are a really hard one. Depending on if you're really a big stickler for dimensions and stuff like that, these are going to be the cheapest ones, basically, to be able to keep you riding and out there, get back on your bike, just in case you have a broken part, but you have that extra cash lying around. Now, I couldn't really find any handlebars under $50, because that's kind of where I wanted to keep you guys, in that $50 bracket, so you have some extra money left over to be able to get some other parts. The only one I could really find was the Mission handlebars. It looked like they were pretty decent enough to be able to withstand any impact, to be able to do tricks, but also look good. So the Mission handlebars are pretty good. If you can go that extra dollar, maybe use more of that $100 and take yourself out of that $50 bracket, then there are a ton of different handlebars. I actually run the Snafu Illingworth, which I believe are now called the Snafu Jackson, which is Scotty Kramer's handlebar. Absolutely love that bar. It is 9-inch rise, really good feel. I also encourage you guys to go ahead and just kind of ride other people's bikes to see what fits you before you end up going to making this big purchase, because it does make a difference with your riding. Now moving on down from the handlebars, we're going to talk about stems. There's so many different stems out there. There are top load and front load. The differences are whether or not you want a higher rise or you want to be a little bit further from the bike, but you're going to have a lower rise. So we're going to talk about a handful of stems. All these stems are under $50. The Shadow Conspiracy ODIN, which also comes in green. I think that's the cheapest one I found, this green one that's on the screen right now. Mission has a really good one. RANT has a really good one. Volume Bikes and Sunday. There's a decent amount right there that are under that $50 target point, so you have some extra cash lying around to be able to pick up some other parts that we're going to talk about as we even get further. Now moving on to the front load though, there's only a handful that I could find in this price range. The Shadow Conspiracy Matt Ray, a RANT one, and a Stranger Bike Company one. Kind of limited with this because, like I said, that $50 price point is kind of limited to what you have available right now. I know you guys are going to want me to talk about hubs. Now hubs are really hard to find under that $100 target point. So if you can make the extra stretch to maybe $160, $170, I'll put a couple on the screen right now that kind of fit that criteria. Depending if you want a coaster or not. Coasters are going to cost you a little bit more money. So maybe you kind of save up a little bit more money to be able to find yourself what type of coaster or cassette you want. And maybe we'll do a video kind of doing some comparisons and letting you know what would be the best bang for the buck with that. All right, sprockets. Sprockets is a hard one. This is going to be the $50 and under sprocket section. There are going to be some bash guard ones in here, but I actually encourage you to get a spline drive sprocket if you have the extra money. You're going to find that that rides a lot better. Plus, I feel like bash guards are more geared towards people that are going to be doing sprocket grinds only. And for those people right there, I have a Sunday KNOX with a bash guard right here on the screen that'll fit that criteria of $50 and under, a Odyssey utility guard, and that's probably the best that you can get for the money when it comes to those. Now when we're talking about any other sprocket, all sprockets are basically the same. I know it's going to sound kind of stupid. You're basically paying for the design. Unless it's a really, really thin sprocket that has a lot missing in the middle of it, that right there is going to be probably not too good for you. Just in case you do a sprocket saw, you probably will fold that. So you want a little bit more of a girthy sprocket when it comes to that. Now as far as the spline drive like I was talking about, there's only a handful of companies that are actually doing spline drive, Profile Racing being one of them, and I run Profile Racing cranks and sprocket, and I will never go back. This is actually the Profile column cranks with the Galaxy sprocket. Now pegs, there's so many different options with this. A lot of people are geared more towards plastic because they're more skate park friendly, plus they also slide basically on anything. You don't need to wax up everything in order to get that grind. So everything I'm listing right now are plastic sleeve only, and I'm not gonna really be listing any price points, but these seem to be the best bang for the buck. I wanna say these are all under $20. The BSD pegs that I'm currently running right here, not too sure what they're called, but they're the Chris Kyle pegs, a little bit longer. They're 4.5 inches long. There's a Mission peg, a KINK peg, an Odyssey peg, Merit, and Shadow Conspiracy. All of these reach that target point of $20 or under and will definitely suffice when it comes to just getting yourself to the skate park and getting grinding done. Now we're gonna talk about tires. Tires is probably the question I get the most often when I'm out riding or in the YouTube comments. People ask me what tires should they get or which ones I'm running. So all these tires are $50 and under, starting with Mission. Mission actually has a handful of really good colors and some camo colors I think will look pretty good. They come in a lot of different sizes as well, depending on your frame geometry and how wide your back end is. RANT actually comes with some really good colors as well. KINK also fits in that $50 criteria while also offering a bunch of different colors. Stolen Hive looks to be the grippiest for the buck, and the ones I'm running on my bike are actually the Claw Mirage tires. These are 2.4s. I love these tires. They're foldable. They go up to, I believe, 110 PSI, just depending on if you ride park and street, and they're a little bit more than $50, but they're definitely worth it. Now there's a slew of other bike parts in order to make a bike complete, but these are the ones I think are the most important and the most bang for your buck to upgrade for $100 or under. We could talk about rims, we could talk about frames, but it's really hard to find rims that are under that $50 or $100 marker. I mean, you could spend all of your money on rims and be able to be under that $100 marker, but you're not gonna have any money left over to be able to get any extra parts. That's why I was making this list, to be able to get you the most bang for your buck to keep it $100 or under. Now when you're ready to upgrade rims, you should actually look into brands such as Alienation and Odyssey first. I actually run Alienation rims on my bike, and I've been running Alienation for over 10 years. The current ones I'm running right now are actually carbon fiber. If you guys want to see any videos on that, link in the description and up in the card right now to be able to take you to that video, but these things have lasted a little more than $100 each though. Now if you're looking for a frame, you kind of want to gear yourself towards whatever type of riding style that you actually look up to. So look at one of your favorite pro riders and kind of see what their dimensions are, or even if they have a signature frame, maybe that frame would actually fit you depending on the height you are. So make sure you look into those dimensions and be able to see if that actually would be something you want to get in the near future. All right, now we reached the portion of the video where I want to talk a little bit about the raffle I have going on my channel. Now a lot of you guys might have seen the video I put out previously where I was paying random layaways. Well, I don't want to call them layaways because Target and Walmart both don't do layaways anymore. I didn't know that. So I went in there and just tried to like case somebody out to see if they needed it. Now I have 3 different big prizes going on, third, second, and first. We're gonna start with third. Now third place is a 888 pad setup, just like the one I use regularly on my channel. A helmet, shin pads, knee pads, elbow pads, and gloves. Second place, same exact pad setup, plus an Insta360 like I use on my channel on a regular basis. First place, the big one. That same setup you see on second place, plus a BSD frame, fork, and handlebar, and TUBOLITO tubes. How do you get involved? It is a $5 entry through my PayPal or Venmo. You will be getting an itemized email letting you know where you are in the raffle system, and the winners will be chosen on December 24th. So with that being said, if you guys have any suggestions for future videos, or you found this video informative, please drop a like, a subscribe, and share this video with a friend. With that being said, if you like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.